Hello, welcome to this edition of the Attitude Nation newsletter. Happy 2021. Want to wish you a happy new year. We're glad to push 2020 right out the back door. Now, kind of what I'm feeling and what I've been reading and kind of my gut and my calendar is telling me that the first quarter of 2021 is going to be a lot like 2020. We're going to be slow. There's going to be some quarantining. Businesses are still going to be on lockdown, but I'm expecting, and my calendar is telling me, that the second half of 2021, things are going to get rolling again. So I believe that's some positive news. It is extremely difficult to stay positive in a negative world, especially with everything that's been going on. During the new year, many people begin by making New Year's resolutions. And it's great. And I'm a very goal-orientated person. And I believe you should work on your goals, not just once a year, but monthly and even weekly if you want to accomplish them faster. I have a friend, and she loves making New Year's resolutions. She goes gangbusters on it every single year. So here's some of her New Year's resolutions for 2021. Well, she wants to lose some weight. The COVID-19 really kind of turned into COVID-19 pounds. So she wants to lose weight. She wants to get in better shape, and just a couple of things like that. She wants to improve her diet, and she wants to quit drinking so much. So New Year's comes around, and it's like we're right in the thick of it now. I don't know if you belong to a gym or you go to a gym, but you always know the first month, it's just packed with people who made New Year's resolutions. And by mid-February, the studies show that over 80% of New Year's resolutions are all but forgotten about by mid-February. And this is a whole thing. This is about willpower, really is what it is. So willpower is kind of like this bunch of pencils and pens and markers. Each person only has so much willpower. It's a finite amount of willpower. You don't have an unlimited source of willpower. Nobody does. Now everybody's a little bit different, but you have a certain amount of willpower. And here's what happens. You get all gung-ho, and January comes around and you make these New Year's resolutions, and you say, okay, and the first week in January comes and you're excited, you're ready, and you say, okay, I'm going to change my sleeping pattern because I got to get up earlier if I want to work out. So you get up at 5 instead of 7. You see, and that takes some willpower just to change your sleeping pattern. And then you get some form of exercise. You go for a walk, go for a bike, hit the treadmill, go to the gym. And you haven't done that for like 10 months very consistently. And that takes a certain amount of willpower. It takes some of your willpower to do that, to exercise. Then you say, I'm going to change my eating habits. So you change your diet, and because you've been eating pizza and ordering takeout during the whole pandemic, and that takes some of your willpower. And then you say, I'm going to stop drinking so much alcohol because that's causing my COVID-19 weight gain and my sleep, everything like this. And that takes a lot of willpower to stop having a couple glasses of wine or a couple of beers or a couple cocktails each night. And see what happens. This will work for about a month. Is what you're doing. So you're all excited. You get up at 5, you use some of that willpower, you hit the gym, and instead of just like easing into it, going for a walk or a little jog or something, you want to do 5 miles on the elliptical. That takes a lot of willpower to do that. And then you come home, instead of eating pizza and hamburgers and fast food, you're like doing a keto diet because you're going to go keto because it worked for your friend. That takes a lot of willpower to do that. And then you're going to stop drinking completely for 2 months of 2020. See, and and what happens, you can do this, most people can do this for 3, 4, 5 weeks, and you get burned out. What I suggest that you do is you take one of your resolutions. So let's say it's get up at 5 in the morning. So you want to change your sleeping pattern. This is one of your resolutions. I suggest you take all of your willpower, all the willpower you have, and you apply it to changing your sleep patterns. And you start getting up at 5, and then you work on your other resolutions as you get. But I want you to apply all your willpower to getting up at 5. And then when you get up at 5, you're not going to, drop some of my willpower. If you get up at 5, you're not going to be able to, you can't continue to go to bed at 11 or 12. You got to start winding down at 9:30 or be asleep by 10. So I want you to take all of your willpower and I want you to apply it to changing your sleep patterns, your sleep habits. I want you to do that for a month or maybe even 2. And then once that becomes a habit or routine, you can get all your willpower back because you're used to getting up at 5 and going to bed at 10. And now you can take your willpower and you can apply it to exercise and get in better shape. And you can apply all your willpower into the exercise part, not just part of it. I want you to apply all of your willpower into getting into shape, whatever that looks like to you. Exercising more, walking, getting 10,000 steps, doing CrossFit, whatever it is. And then you do that for a couple of months until that becomes a habit or a routine and a pattern. And then you can have all this willpower again that you have, and then you can take it and you can apply it to changing your diet if this is what you want to do. And you take all your willpower, because you're going to need some for breakfast, some willpower for breakfast, some for your snack, some for lunch, and then some at night for dinner. So you can use all that willpower on changing one behavior or changing a habit. So here's what I'd like you to do. Instead of trying to change your sleep pattern in January, trying to get to the gym 6 times a week in January because it's your resolution, trying to do a keto diet or changing your entire diet in January, and trying to stop drinking altogether in January. This is almost impossible for the normal human being to do. Now, I know some of you can probably do it, but it's almost impossible. I would rather you pick one of those resolutions and use all your willpower to do it until it becomes a habit, until you modify your behavior. It's going to take 1 to 2 months to do that. Now, after all, you didn't just gain the COVID-19 in a month. It took 10, 11 months to do that. It's going to take 10 or 11 months to change and modify your habits and to accomplish those resolutions. So that's my tip for you for January, and make sure and just pick one of those resolutions and apply all of your willpower to it, and it will go much better. So Happy New Year. I hope you stay positive, and I hope you test negative.